Hi, I'm CJ Vigil.
And I'm Aidan Lewis, and this is CTTV Announcements. If you are finished with your textbooks or library books, drop them off at the library to receive a treat once your account is cleared. Tryouts for Season D sports is next week. Registration was due on Monday, April 12th. If you did not turn in your registration on time, you're not allowed to try out or participate in the sport.
This week is a Colorado Virtual Career Fair. Professionals from all 17 career clusters, ethnicities, backgrounds, and parts of Colorado will be presenting Monday through Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. via Zoom. The panel session schedule can be found at youthcareerfair.org.
Seniors, there are some important dates coming up for you. Check out the Cherry Creek School website for a spreadsheet on when those dates are due and a description of it.
Sam Luber, a junior here at CT, is working towards completing his junior year and getting his pilot license. Here's Lynden and Joslin for more details.
At only 17 and with just over a year of experience, Sam Luber is one of the very few students on their path to becoming a certified pilot.
Right now, there's a lot of need for pilots as a career. There's a big shortage coming up after the airline industry comes back, and so there's a lot of demand for jobs for pilots. You can make a lot of money actually being a pilot in a commercial setting. So one of my goals is maybe to do that as a career one day, but also it's just really fun to be able to kind of fly wherever you want and have that freedom of, oh, hey, I'm going to fly over to this city and it'll be real quick, short, fun journey. To start, my uncle is a pilot, and when I visited him a couple years ago, he took me up in a plane, and he showed me how to fly a little bit, and so that's kind of where it all started. When I came back home, I learned about this scholarship from the Wings Over the Rockies museum in Denver. I applied for that and I got it, and they gave me $12,000 to help me gain my private pilot's license, so that's helped a lot. The biggest real hurdle to getting your pilot's license is probably the cost of the time spent training. The scholarship that I got is for high school students, and they gave a bunch of money for a bunch of different kids, and it really helped lessen that burden of, oh, how am I going to pay for this scholarship, and more just focus on moving forward and learning to actually fly instead of worrying about how you're going to pay for it.
Although piloting may cost a lot of money, there are other challenges to face when getting a license.
Well, there's a bunch of different FAA requirements. So you have to have at least 40 hours of flight time, 10 of those being solo, and you have to do night training and cross-country flights, which are longer than 50 miles. You have to pass a check ride, which is basically like a practical test in which an FAA certified examiner comes and watches you fly, basically. When you pass that in a written exam, they'll give you your pilot's license. Then with the private pilot license, you have certain limitations on basically flying a small plane just like this one right here. When you're in the air on your own, the biggest thing is really just making sure you're going in the right direction, especially if you're on a long flight. It could be pretty boring actually if you're just going in a straight line. There's a term we use, aviate, navigate, communicate. So first, fly the plane, make sure you're doing everything right, make sure you're not getting in a dangerous situation. Then navigate, make sure you know where you're going, and then communicate as to other pilots and making sure you're having a safe space. Landing is the hardest part, honestly. It's the time where it takes the most effort to make sure everything goes right. And there's a saying that says, a good landing is one that you can walk away from, and a great landing is one that the airplane works after too. You might think that it's super dangerous at first, but you have to go through such rigorous processes to make sure that everything stays safe that in the end it all turns out okay. It takes some practice, but after a little bit, it's muscle memory. So right here, this is a Cessna 172. It's the most popular small plane. I believe it's the most mass-produced airplane of all time. So it has a little 160 horsepower engine in the front, and it only weighs about 1,600 pounds. With that, you can fly you and a couple friends, and you can go up to 500 miles. But it's a little small plane. People use it for trainers a lot, but it's where everyone starts. For me, the most fun part about flying is kind of just seeing the world from above. One time I took a night flight right over Denver, seeing the whole city at night, and it was really cool just to see the whole atmosphere, seeing what everything looks like from above. So I want to take my friends and family on trips to see red rocks and different cool, the mountains, different cool areas of Colorado from above. When you're in the air, you don't really focus on any of the problems on the ground. Every little often you'll kind of look out the window and you'll see, wow, look at this, I'm up in the air. And it gives you perspective on everything, and it's just relaxing and fun to do.
Though he has encountered many challenges, Sam is still pursuing his passion of flying and is looking forward to blue skies. This is Lynden Joslin with CTTV.
That's all for today, Cougars, and remember, we are CT.